Alright, so you're thinking about Australia, right? Land of kangaroos, koalas, incredible beaches, the whole 9 yards. But here's the thing, this place can also be intense. Australia's got its own set of rules, and if you're not clued in, you could find yourself in a world of hurt. This isn't your typical top 10 beaches video, this is the real talk. I'm going to break down 5 crucial things you should totally avoid when you're down under. Think of me as your slightly too caffeinated older brother, who's already made all the mistakes so you don't have to. We're diving deep into everything from the critters that can, well, unalive you, to the sun that feels like a laser beam. This isn't about scaring you off, it's about gearing you up. So, grab a coffee, buckle up, and let's get into what not to do in the land of Oz. Okay, let's just get this one out of the way first. The wildlife. Australia has some of the most unique, most fascinating animals on the planet. But a lot of the other stuff can be seriously dangerous. We're talking snakes, some of the most venomous in the world. They can be in national parks, near walking trails, sometimes even closer to where people live. So, rule number 1, always be aware of your surroundings. Then there are the spiders, funnel webs, redbacks, names that should send a shiver down your spine. These aren't your friendly neighborhood spiders. Shaking out your shoes before you put them on? Not a bad idea. Checking your bedding in more rustic accommodations? Definitely a good habit. It sounds like a lot, but it's just common sense in a place where the creepy crawlies are on a different level. And it's not just on land. The ocean? Beautiful, but home to things like box jellyfish and sharks. Shark attacks are rare, but they happen. The point isn't to make you terrified of every living creature, but to instill a healthy respect. You're in their house, remember that. So what's the takeaway here? It's not, don't go into nature, it's go into nature prepared. Know what lives there. Understand the risks. Don't try to pet the dingoes. Don't try to get a selfie with the big snake you just saw. Common sense, amplified by a factor of 10. Listen to local advice. Read the warning signs. I remember one time I was hiking and almost stepped on a brown snake. My heart stopped. It was a wake-up call. You just can't be complacent. Being cautious doesn't mean being scared. It means being smart. That's how you make sure your wildlife encounters are the wow kind, not the oh crap kind. Alright, next up, the sun. The Australian sun is on a whole different level of intensity. I'm talking about UV rays that are just brutal. You can get burned in a ridiculously short amount of time. People joke about it. Slip, slop, slap, slip on a shirt, slop on sunscreen, slap on a hat. It's a national mantra for a reason, because skin cancer rates in Australia are among the highest in the world. So, underestimating it? That's a rookie mistake. You might think, oh, I tan easily, I'll be fine. No, you won't. The UV index in Australia can go off the charts, especially in summer. Even on cloudy days, those rays are punching through. I've seen tourists, bright red, looking like lobsters after just an hour or two outside without protection. So, sunscreen. SPF 50+, broad spectrum. And don't just dab a bit on, slather it. Reapply it constantly. Think of it like armor. And then there's the hat. Not a baseball cap that leaves your ears and neck exposed. A wide-brimmed hat, sunglasses too. Your eyes can get sunburned. It's called photokeratitis, and it's incredibly painful. So, get good quality sunglasses that block UV rays. Walking around the city, hiking, sightseeing, anytime you're outdoors during the day, you need to be thinking about sun protection. Peak UV times are usually between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. The Australian sun is no joke. Cover up, sunscreen up, and stay hydrated. Okay, let's talk about those incredible Australian beaches. White sand, turquoise water, surfers carving up waves, it's the dream, right? But that beautiful, inviting ocean, it has a hidden danger: rip currents. These things are serious business. A rip current is a strong, narrow channel of water that flows away from the beach, out to sea. Even strong swimmers can get caught and find themselves being pulled further and further from shore. Panic is the natural reaction, but it's the worst thing you can do. Trying to swim directly against a strong rip is like trying to swim up a waterfall. You'll just exhaust yourself. So, the number one rule: always swim between the flags. Those red and yellow flags you see on patrolled beaches, they mark the safest area to swim. If you swim outside the flags, you're on your own, and the chances of encountering a rip current go way up. It's just not worth the risk. Now, what if you do get caught in a rip? First, don't panic. Don't try to swim directly against it. The key is to swim parallel to the shore. Rips are usually not very wide. If you swim sideways, you can often get out of its main pull and then make your way back to the beach. If you can't escape it, try to stay afloat, conserve your energy, and signal for help. Wave your arm, shout. If you're on a patrolled beach, the lifesavers will see you. But again, this is why swimming between the flags is so important. Rips can change. They can appear and disappear depending on the tide, the swell, the shape of the beach. So, always take a moment to observe the water before you go in. Swim between the flags, every single time. Now let's move inland, to the legendary Australian outback. The red dirt, the vast open spaces, the sense of stepping into another world. It's iconic, it's breathtaking, and it is incredibly remote. People get into serious trouble out there by not respecting just how big and empty the outback can be. You can drive for hours without seeing another car, another person, another sign of civilization. And if something goes wrong, your car breaks down, you take a wrong turn, you run out of water, you are properly isolated. Cell phone service? Forget about it in most places. It's just you in the wilderness. So, planning. Meticulous, obsessive planning is essential. You need to know your route inside out. You need to have reliable maps. Physical maps, not just your phone's GPS. You need to understand the distances involved. Water. You need to carry way more water than you think you'll need. The rule of thumb is at least 5 to 7 liters per person per day. And it gets incredibly hot out there. Dehydration can set in quickly. And you must tell someone your travel plans, your exact route, your expected arrival times, when you expect to be back in contact. Vehicle preparation is another huge one. If you're driving, your vehicle needs to be in top-notch condition. Good tires, including spares. Know how to change a tire. The outback demands respect and preparation. Okay, last one, and this ties into the outback a bit, but it applies to the whole country. Underestimating distances. Australia is big. No, I mean, it's really big. Like continental USA big, or all of Western Europe can fit inside it big. And people consistently underestimate just how long it takes to get from A to B. This isn't a place where you can just pop over to the next city. You look at a map, and Sydney to Melbourne or Cairns to Brisbane might not look that far. But then you plug it into a GPS, and you realize it's a 9-hour drive or a 17-hour drive. Trying to cram too much into too short a time is a classic mistake. It leads to a rushed, stressful, and ultimately less enjoyable trip. I see itineraries all the time where people are trying to hit Sydney, Melbourne, Cairns, Uluru, and Perth in 10 days. It's insane. You'll spend your entire vacation in transit. You won't actually get to experience any of these places properly. So, the advice here is simple. Be realistic. Do your research on travel times. Factor in getting to and from airports, check-in times, potential delays. If you're driving, factor in rest stops, speed limits, and the fact that driving long distances can be incredibly tiring. It's far better to choose a couple of regions and explore them thoroughly than to try and tick off every single landmark on the map. Quality over quantity. Think about internal flights. For longer distances, flying is often the most practical option. If you are planning a road trip, break up the journey. Don't try to drive for 12 hours straight. Australia's size is part of its majesty. Plan thoughtfully, allow plenty of time, and you'll have a much richer, more rewarding experience. So there you have it. 5 things that can seriously derail your Australian adventure if you're not careful. It's not about being scared, not at all. Australia is one of the most incredible, most rewarding travel destinations on the entire planet. The landscapes are epic, the cities are vibrant, the people are awesome. But, like any great adventure, it comes with its own set of challenges. It's about respect. Respect for the wildlife, respect for the power of the sun and the ocean, and respect for the sheer scale of the place. Being prepared, being informed, that's the key. Knowing this stuff beforehand means you can focus on the good stuff, the breathtaking views, the unique encounters, the memories you'll be talking about for years. Go make some amazing memories.